Let's see if anybody comes.
Oh,
well. I'm live, so unless you want your voice online, I wouldn't speak. Oh, Finn! Stop crying. It is Saturday night. There may not be a lot of people. Just sitting here. Hi, just me. I got one person. One person. Hi, B. She's calling from Canada. Hi, guys. Oh, wait a minute. No, suddenly there's like 10 people. Thank God I got 10 people. It's nerve-wracking to sit here and go, gosh, I hope somebody shows up. I wanted to discuss if any, from Vietnam. Cool. I wanted to know if anybody had any thoughts about the video that I put up today. Hi, Scott from Scotland, UK, Australia. Wow. I was just off to bed. I'll put the kettle on. I won't be on that long, Natalie. Don't have any caffeine. Ziggy's walking through an airport. You got to get on a plane. Oh my goodness. You guys. Tomorrow we have to not tomorrow. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's Sunday. Monday's video, we're discussing some more information. What do you guys think? And hello from Brazil and oh my God, Mississippi, Switzerland, South Africa. This is like so cool. Long Island, New York, my old hometown. Texas, Denmark, London. Okay, guys. Here's my thing. My brain is just going. I am so concerned about the Taliban. Several people have messaged me today and said that they think Harry did this because he wanted his IPP status. Am I wrong in believing that I don't think that they'll ever be able to leave that house again in Montecito for fear that, somebody will blow them up? Am I wrong? Do you think they may have to go into the witness protection program? This is the Taliban. The Taliban. We're talking about the Taliban. And they're saying now that Harry's a war criminal and they want to put him on trial for war crimes. This has gone outer limits. Am I the only one that saw that? Because I was, oh my God. Laura, you think he did it for IPP status too? I would hope he wouldn't be that stupid. Here we go. Taliban is dangerous. And now with the coronation coming, I don't get it. Harry has $10 million worth of security. Here's the problem. Okay, first of all, LD just wrote, wait a minute, suddenly you guys, your stuff goes by so fast. I can't even. LD just said we're going to have to pay here in the United States. Here's the problem. First of all, he has admitted to usage of cocaine, marijuana, magic mushrooms, and even admitted to sucking down gas while Megan's in labor. I don't know if I believe that one, because if that was done in the United States and you had a licensed nurse and that wasn't reported by the nurse, she could lose her license. So I bet now the hospital's going to go back and see what that is. But supposedly, if anything that happened over the age of 18, under 18 can't be held against him. But a lot of this stuff happened after he was 18. He was not in the Royal Air Force when he was below the age of 18. I get what you're saying here, but here's the thing. If the Taliban want him, will the United States put themselves in the middle of an international incident? What do you think? That could put him in the middle of an international incident. And yes, Dawn, I also worry about the Invictus Games. Some people from the Invictus Games have actually come out, shockingly enough, they've actually come out in defense of Harry. I don't see that, but they have. I agree with you, Gail. The Taliban are everywhere. I think if they want him, they're going to get him, dead or alive. Do you really think they're going to care if Meghan and the kids are there? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't like her. She's a very unlikable person. That doesn't mean she should be killed. That doesn't mean that the innocent children should be injured. I think Harry's an idiot that's now placed his family in serious danger. I'm like, am I only missing this? I'm hoping that the United States would put him out. Okay, now Miss Rogers here says, I think much of the book is made up. Yes, Joanne Bell, I saw that. I saw this. They did put up the full extract from the memoir, and guess what it says? His superior was yelling at him, and guess why the superior was yelling at him? Because he was jealous. I'm not kidding. Putting up that whole excerpt didn't change anything. He still talked about how many people he killed, and if anything, now he's claiming that his sergeant or whoever was over him was jealous of him also. Oh my God. I don't know. Now Melissa said he made it up. You don't brag about that crap. And what should I looking at the previews? He's still sniffling and touching. Yes, I believe I touched on that in today's video. But I think, am I wrong in thinking that he should probably have his visa canceled and he should go? I mean, he's working in the United States. He's working for Better Up. He's making money. He's got a visa. I mean, I'm wrong with this. If anybody on there has a camera and a microphone and would like to come on, you could let me know. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to send an invite. I think that's it. I think that's the link. Just click on that link. You can come on. Narina, yes, I agree. His visa should be suspended. I even said, and you'll hear about it on Monday's video, if she wants to leave him at this point, I wouldn't even say she's leaving him for the money at this point. I'd say she's leaving him for safety reasons. Because I think she's in serious danger. I think the kids are in serious danger. I think this went too far. You know what I mean? I think it went too far. Lori, Harry better not bring another 9/11. Well, that's pretty much what he's done. If the Taliban want him, I don't think the United States should say, sorry, he's in our borders. He's not an American citizen. I think he should be told to go. I don't think Meghan in a million years would go with him. Maybe she and the kids would be safer if they were, Divergent. Wanda says he needs to be sectioned as a criminal. I agree. Bonnie Bell. The Taliban can bomb innocent civilians just to make a point. I agree. And Teresa Barks, I also think Harry is trying to reach his dead mother through psychics. And he said and again, this is on my video Tuesday, I've never felt my mother's presence more than in the last 2 years. This man keeps his dead mother hair in a box on his bedside table. I mean, creepy. I think it's creepy. Let's see. Hey, Sue, do I think Meghan Markle took out a large life insurance policy on him? Yes, I do. Beverly's here.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. So tell me, what do you think about this mess? Give me your opinion.
Right. Well, let's put it this way. He had the nickname of Bunker Boy or Bunker Harry because he spent most of his time in the bunker playing with the Xbox. So that's where the 25 victims probably came in. He would have been too valuable theoretically to be on the front line. So I don't believe any of it. I think he's trying to big himself up.
See, I heard that he had his own protection people.
Yeah, he did.
That every time there was a chance that he could be attacked, they put him. The protection people took him to some place that was a protected area where he was out of danger.
Trevor Colt says something about that. Is it Trevor Colt?
I know Trevor Colt.
Yeah, he said about that. He should know. He was in the forces.
Yes, you're right.
So, to be honest, I think there was more chance of William being killed while he was an air sea rescue pilot.
Yeah.
But I think he shot himself in the foot, and I think to be honest, I don't think we want him here for the coronation because he's going to put the whole family in danger.
Well, the article came out already that he's been written out of the coronation. If he shows up, he's just going to sit in a corner with Meghan. Listen, when he said a lot could happen between now and then. And Glinda the Good is here too. I'm going to add her. He said,
hi, Glinda. Hi, Sue.
He said a lot could happen between now and then. And the ball is in their court. And the second he said that, I said, that's it. He's not going to the coronation because the royal family is not going to reach out to him. They're not going to have talks with him. They're not going to apologize. Nothing he wants is going to happen. So I think that's good on the royal family's part because essentially now he's not going to go to the coronation.
Yeah. The trouble was, as soon as he said that phrase, well, the ball's in their court, it makes it about him.
Yes.
Not about the king.
Yes. I'm telling you, I'm looking at all these things and I'm thinking, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But when all the news now came out about the Taliban calling him a war criminal and wanting him handed over for a trial, I said, this has gone outer limits. And now he's living in the United States. And this other person just wrote, we don't need another 9/11.
No.
So it's just to go back. I was lucky enough because of my upbringing. For periods of time, I did live in Kabul and I also lived in Karachi. So I'm kind of familiar with Urdu and some of the other languages that are spoken over there. And I used a VPN and went through Twitter from across the pond. And the language that they are using makes the American trolls look like kindergarten amateurs. It's not pretty at all. I'm going to use an Arabic term and someone can translate it if they want, but Henry is definitely a mafaymuch. And
a bad person. Something along those lines.
Real bad, okay? It's like when you have to yell. It's when you have it's people use it for verbal road rage, okay?
Sissy Anna, the reason the Taliban are calling him a war criminal because he said he killed 25 Taliban like they were chess pieces and he just knocked them off a board. Now,
Yeah, he was playing whatever stupid computer game.
computer game. Let me just say that I saw and again, this is all in Monday's video. I'm giving it all away now. There was it was a colonel or somebody, I can't remember exactly. And he said, part of the Geneva Convention is, he said, they don't train the UK soldiers to act that way and think that way. He said part of the Geneva Convention is to show, I'm trying to remember exactly why.
They're to show respect.
Respect. He said, if they're dead, you show respect to their corpse. If they're injured, he goes, half the time when these people are injured, you come to, you're laying in a UK field hospital next to an Afghan insurgent that's also being treated. If they're a prisoner, you make sure they get food and water. It's part of the Geneva. It's part of the rules of war. Said that they said the way Harry was talking is not the way they're talking. Is not the way they're spoken to at all. And they don't. And they said it sounds good, but it sells books, but it's not real.
No, it's not. I grew up in a very military Air Force family all over the place, and I do know for a fact that the guys that saw the worst talk the least, and the ones who saw nothing are the biggest braggarts. I mean,
yes.
my dad was there. He was based in India during World War II. He was flying supplies over the hump, over Mount Everest.
Well,
he was helping when Japan surrendered after the bomb. My dad was flying out the guys that they were finding who were working on the Burma Railroad and the people that were held in camps by the Japanese. And a couple times he did let slip some of the awful things that happened in the Pacific Theater by the Japanese. And if I told you, a lot of people would stop buying cars from Japan and they would come, Toyota and Honda would come after me for shooting. Yes, some of the things they would do were just made the Nazis look like nice guys.
Benevolent. Let me just say, I have somebody on here saying why are they upset with his service? The reason they're upset is that the Taliban is saying that nobody was killed on the days that he's claiming people were killed, that obviously he killed women and children and civilians, not army people. And so the Taliban now are insisting that he is a war criminal and they want him. So, you know, the United States is not going to get, in my opinion, the United States is not going to get into the middle of an international incident. And here's one of the things. Let me put this up. War criminals are mentioned because he had a head commander that said no soldiers were killed. So the 25 would have had to have been civilians. This is getting serious, even if he lied about it.
I think he's lying. And earlier today, I did do my own video and I was doing a little bit of a reading and focusing. And I kept getting flashes of courtrooms.
Oh.
Him stand courtroom all the time. And so divorce, or he could be.
Sorry, I just had to say hi, Nancy.
He could be pulled sent to The Hague to stand for a war.
He's Prince Harry. He's Prince Harry. They're not going to do all that. I just think he's gone bonkers. Nancy, what is your take on all of this?
Well, my take is that Harry intentionally made that comment in the book to build his case for paid-for security by the British government or royal family. So it was intentional so that he would be they would see he would be at risk more, and then his security would be bumped up. That's my take on it.
Now, Trevor Colt.
If he wants security, let him go live on Daddy's property.
Trevor Colt.
That's it. He had security and walked away, but yeah.
Well, Trevor Colt said that this will not help his case because he's the one who put the target on his back.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking there's going to be some incident where something will be so desperate that maybe they'll have to do something. But I can't see him ever going back and living in England. He better not come back to Canada. So I think he's
Well,
stuck
the
in the
United
U.S.
States, I'm telling you, we're talking the Taliban. The United States
Yeah.
fought them for how long? We had the 9/11. The United States still hasn't healed from that.
No.
And what I find really disgusting is that Harry and Meghan came to New York, did photo shoots at the 9/11 memorial, tried to somehow make it about themselves, and then he goes and does this. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, Beverly, are you okay? Did
I
you just fall?
I'm leaning on a couple of books.
Oh.
My honest thought process when I read all that today, my honest thought process this went too far, too long. Maybe he didn't mean for it to go this far, but now it has gone this far. And I feel like I said a little while ago, I don't dislike, I mean, I don't hate Meghan. I don't hate anybody. Hate's a really strong word. I dislike Meghan Markle. I dislike her for multiple reasons, none of which have anything to do with the color of her skin, obviously. But
No, it's just her personality.
But her personality. But now now this has put a whole new spin on it, because I feel like she and her children will never be able to leave that house in Montecito without, before she was like, somebody might get me. We're being chased by paparazzi, and there's nobody chasing them. And she wants the kind of royal treatment. But I think this is more than what they bargained for, because I really honestly don't think that she and the kids are going to be able to ever leave their house without somebody taking a shot at them. And the Taliban, as we know, are everywhere.
Oh, there's Islamic student. The word Taliban originated as student of Muhammad. It was originally, that was the actual definition, and over time it has morphed into being used as the description of these Islamic extremists who will do anything to get their way. So from being a peaceful student, like a Jesuit seminarian student studying to be a priest, or a yeshiva boy wanting to be a rabbi, a Taliban student was going to be a mullah, where Taliban student is now, they're out to, they want the jihad, they want to kill everyone who is not a follower of Muhammad. And the fact that all four of us women, we have our hair uncovered, we're all probably wearing makeup, and I have a V-neck shirt on, you're showing your neck and collarbones. I mean, it's like, hey, we're immoral women according to Islam.
You know what? I have to tell you, it's just like, well, not even that. When I got married, and all these women, of course, this was 20 some odd years ago, but even then, a lot of the women were wearing these strapless gowns and, very showy. And I was like, I'm standing before God. I don't need God looking, or the rabbi looking at my breasts. And I made sure, I got married in July, and I was married in a full long dress with long sleeves, with a top that came up to here.
Yes.
And I made sure I was appropriately covered, because this was a important religious event. And it was not for me to show my breasts.
I know, that reminds me of something funny. A couple of years ago, we had, before the lockdowns, when they had the confirmation of the classes at the synagogue, that service that Friday night, some of these girls, their skirts were so short and revealed so much, it was just indecent, that now they actually had to institute a dress code for the young ladies for their bat mitzvahs and the confirmation ceremony.
We had to do that also when my boys had their bar mitzvahs. These people would come to synagogue, and I was like, they were like, what do I wear? And I said, well, what do you wear to church on Sunday? Would you wear a mini skirt to church on Sunday? No. You don't wear that to a bar mitzvah.
No.
Dress appropriately.
Exactly. Okay, I've been to some bat and bar mitzvahs where the mothers are wearing beaded Chanel suits, and who can outdo each other with the designer label and handbags.
So
but
Alberta,
you've seen those two.
Alberta said there should not be any tax money spent on them for protection because we went through 9/11 and it cost so many lives along with money. Send them back to the UK. I got to be honest. Listen. This is, like I said, this is going to end up being a whole international incident because Megan is an American citizen, so they can't make her leave, which is fine. She's an American.
Well,
The
he's
kids
not.
are American.
No, the kids are half and half.
But the kids have dual citizenship. But the point is you can't make the kids leave because they have American citizenship. Harry, however, is here on the good graces of the U.S. government on some visa that we still aren't exactly sure what kind. I heard it was.
So
the
he's
visa,
on. He's on.
There's a visa you can get if you do something that shows incredible ability. And because he created the Invictus Games, which was a steal from the Warrior Games, that's why they gave him the visa. Okay, fine. But if you're going to bring the Taliban down on the United States, I think you need to go.
I heard he's on a diplomatic residential visa because of who his daddy is.
Well, if he wants,
and because who his daddy is, it would not surprise me if there's already a plane waiting at LAX to haul his ass and the kids, because Charles actually has legal guardianship over those kids right now. And since they are half UK citizens, the United States government would have to put Henry and the two kids on that plane, do a polar flight back to London. Rachel can stay here, but those three, Harry and the two kids, would be back, or else big diplomatic nightmare.
One thing,
and we should check on Monkey Works. I don't know if you've ever seen him. This guy Monkey Works, he plots all the military and diplomatic planes that are in the air at the same time. We might want to check to see if he comes up with any, like a diplomatic flight from California that did the polar route straight to London.
Okay, first of all, Dawn, let me tell you, because my husband is not American, just because you marry, he doesn't get the green card automatically.
Nope.
Because he married me 20 some odd years ago, he was allowed to stay in the United States. But in order to work, you have to get a green card.
Yeah.
So we applied for a green card. We had gotten married, had given birth, and that child was like 10 months old before we got the interview. You have to go in for an interview because you got to prove. And I'll never forget this. The interview took place on September 8th, 2001.
Wow.
We got into a fight in front of the immigration officer because the immigration officer was asking for, I know Beverly's looking like, oh my God. We got into a fight.
That proves you're married.
I know.
It does.
Oh, I got upset because the immigration officer, we waited so long for this interview, and the immigration officer asked for specific information. And my husband's handing him everything but what he asked for. And I was like, Jesus Christ, would you just hand the man what he asked for? And so he looks at me and we get into this fight. And then all of a sudden we realized it's very quiet in the room, and we kind of stopped. We looked over at the immigration officer and he goes, oh my God, you guys are so married. And he asked for it and he stamped it and he handed it to my husband and said, get out. And he threw us out of his office. And I'll never forget that. We walk out, we get in the car, and he went the next day to Charleston, South Carolina, which is where the closest office was for fingerprinting and photographing. And then on the 11th, then September 11th happened, and they stopped all immigration proceedings.
Yes.
But the day after that, his green card arrived in the mail.
Thank heavens.
I'll never forget that, because when we got in the car, we opened up his passport, and you're supposed to get a temporary 3-year stamp.
Yes.
They gave him a 10-year stamp.
Wow.
10-year stamp. He was like, get out. And he threw us. I guess he didn't want to see us again. He threw out. But every 10 years, we have to reapply for his green card. So I said, at this point, why don't you become an American citizen? And he said no, because to do that, he'll give up his citizenship in his country. And our kids have dual citizenship as well. And so he doesn't want to run that risk. So I get it. But
I'll
but
clue you
anyway,
into
let me
it.
just say also, Aloho, you are, he said you're spot. I don't know if you guys can see this on the bottom of the screen. He said you're spot on about the Geneva Convention. I was a naval corpsman and I treated not only Americans and allies, but anyone regardless of size. That's true. So the guy on the TV today said, it doesn't, you could wake up in a army hospital and there'd be 3 of the enemy laying around you, because as part of the Geneva Convention, you must treat everybody with respect. If they're dead, you treat their body with respect.
Yes.
If they're injured, you treat them with respect. But but he said that what Harry was saying today was not real. Not that it wasn't real. It wasn't the way they were trained. But it really made me nervous, because all I could think about was, my God, there's going to be another international incident. The Taliban want him. I mean, it's the name of the Taliban is enough to strike fear after what they did.
It's like, what's his face? The journalist that had a hit on him because Salman Rushdie. Yes,
Nasagi.
No, not
Salman Rushdie.
Yes.
He wrote a book called The Satanic Verses.
Yes.
God,
they never got him.
20 years ago.
But they never got him. He's still.
I think he's died recently, actually.
Right, but they were looking for him for 20-something years. They never got him.
Yeah.
So one thing that I found out when I was with my ex, who is a Brit. Laz is from Birmingham. As long as your hubby keeps his German citizenship, check into it, because if he pays a certain amount in, like a percentage of his taxes back to Germany, you get the German medical insurance that works here in the United States like the NHS does.
He doesn't pay any taxes anywhere but
No.
in the United States.
I know, but if he checked into it, if the health insurance costs start getting too high, he could pay into the German government a certain tax percentage for health care that would cover everything here in the States.
Did you guys see this? Salman Rushdie, this person wrote, Salman Rushdie is very much alive.
Yes, he is.
Is he?
There was an attack on him, but it wasn't successful. So
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they did find him eventually.
Thank you, DM, for the super chat for Sue. You got some coffee, Sue?
Hey, coffee! Because, and this is another thing we're going to discuss really quickly. I have a fundraiser going right now. And what I did was January 1st, I emptied my coffee fund. You guys know the link is on my channel. And I found that charity in the UK. We're doing the UK in January.
Mm-hmm.
And what this charity does is it gives money to the food bank. It gives money for, I don't know what a boiler is in the UK. What is a boiler? Is that a water heater, or is that
water heater furnace?
Water heater furnace or furnace. So this guy gives free furnaces, free water heaters, free work to fix people's stuff. He replaces them. He helps stock food banks. He's completely transparent. He's been doing it since 2017. And so any money donated, everything that's donated to anybody donated, everything donated, every penny for January is going to go to this guy, and I'm going to match up to $500. And as of today, we are at I don't know if you can see that. We're at $378.61.
Wow. Thank you. So next, if I can ask for next November, a friend of mine in Lincolnshire, James Wilson White, he has his charity. It's Race for a Cure. It's for those of us who live with RSD CRPS, reflex sympathetic dystrophy / complex regional pain syndrome. Where, since you worked in the ER, you may
I know what that is.
You know what it is. And what another thing is there's so many veterans who are walking around in England, in the United States, who suffered blunt force trauma. And people think they're an addict. Oh, they're drinking, they're doing drugs. A good percentage are undiagnosed with RSD. It's basically when your nervous system is damaged and you live in constant pain.
So is somebody doing a fundraiser?
He has a charity, and it's called Race for a Cure. And we're raising money to find an actual cure for RSD.
And
I've got a great doctor in the Chicago area. He developed a medical protocol. I am like patient one. I go on Zoom and I talk to the medical schools all across the United States and in the UK, any English speaking country. I talk to the students, what it's like and what's doing.
We can look at doing that next. I mean, what I'm doing right now is because of the cost of living crisis. I think it's terrible that people in the UK are having to make a decision between heat or eat.
Oh, I know.
Now in February, because people then said, well, why don't you do something closer to home? We're going to do another fundraiser in February. We'll find a charity in the United States for the winter time. Now,
let's do a doggy one.
Let's go back to what we were discussing earlier. Lisa wrote, I work in labor and delivery, and in the United States, we do not send anyone home with their fetal demise. There's no way the burial story is true. Well, Lisa, let me just tell you, first of all, as you know, it's not even a fetus. It's products of conception. They send them to pathology. You're talking about what's considered to be a geriatric mother.
Oh, yes.
They send them to pathology to see what's what. No, I've never heard of them sending them home with them. And he's in California where they live, burying the baby under a tree that you can usually only find, by the way, in Florida. Burying the baby under this tree would have been illegal, number one. And number two, it's basically a bunch of blood clot clumps. How they could tell which blood clot clump.
What did she give him? A used sanitary pad?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
As somebody herself who's had multiple miscarriages, there's nothing to take home. There's nothing to take.
I've had one, but I don't know because it was a miscarriage, so I had to have basically I had to go through the termination. I did that several times. I never would make it past like 7 weeks, and then they would do the ultrasound. There'd be no heartbeat, and they would go, "Oh, it's a miscarriage," and I'd end up having to go in for surgery for a D&C because that's what I had to have.
Did you ever have that methergin? That's the devil's drug.
No,
I didn't have anything.
The stuff to make you cramp. They give it to you to make you cramp and try to pass it on your own. And then after being in pain for 2 days, they finally do surgery and take it out because it's not coming out on its own. Oh my God, it's horrible. That's horrible.
No, they just literally, I went in on literally the day before I was supposed to have my 12-week scan. And so I went in the day before and they checked and they said, no, it's dead. You haven't passed it. It's still there, but
it's still there, but it has to come out.
So they said, we'll book you in for tomorrow. So literally the day I was supposed to have my 12-week scan, I was actually having the termination. They think I lost it about 7 weeks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get to a point where the heart's supposed to start. It either starts or it doesn't. Christine Cooper, didn't husband try to stop the book? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
It came out that after his visit to the UK, he thought it best to not release the book, but it would appear that since he'd already cashed the $20 million advance check from Penguin Random House or Random Penguin or whatever you say, the book went ahead. So I think he realized it was a mistake. And I'll tell you the other thing that always just shocks the hell out of me is that he had to have known. When I heard him in one of the TV promos that just came out where he said, that guy that used to be the football player or whoever he was from Good Morning America goes, what would Diana say about this? And he goes, oh, I think she'd be sad. But in the long run, she knows we have to go through this in order for our relationship to heal. And I thought to myself, you're insane. This relationship is never going to heal.
Diana was feisty. She was feisty. She'd be like, shut
the fuck up and sit down.
She would be like, this woman is not good for you. You're coming home now.
I'm telling you, this man doesn't understand that book will 20 years from now, that book is still going to be there. He has put a cloud over William and Charles's head for the rest of their lives, and he thinks that he can heal this relationship.
He wants
is
to be Henry.
mentally unwell. I have to be honest, guys. I think he is mentally damaged and unwell. I think the palace did an amazing job with their PR in hiding his mental issues through the years. And as soon as he was out from under the palace, it all came spilling out.
Thank you, Liz, for the
thank
donation.
you, Liz. I'm gonna have coffee.
I have a feeling that when he was still living at Kensington Palace and not caught, he had a housekeeper who would come in every day to fix his breakfast and his meals and would give him his medication. Once Meghan came in, she stopped the medication routine he was on, and that's when all hell started breaking loose. Because she was not there, they could manage his, because some people with a mental illness, it can be controlled, and they can live a healthy, normal life under the proper medication. And Sue, you've seen it when people go off their meds. It's a mess. And that's what she did. She took him off his medication.
Mary, no, he does not have autism. He's not an Aspie.
No.
Trust me on that one.
Autistic kids can be the most snuggly kids on earth.
What did you say, Nancy?
No, he's on drugs. He's taking drugs. He's on cocaine or something. His nose is always running in interviews. His pupils are dilated. His eyes are red. He is on something. That's how I think she controls him too.
Yeah,
he's back on drugs.
Does anybody think it's odd that he's taking his therapist with him to these things instead of his wife? You know that, right? You guys heard that, right? He's going to each of these things, he's bringing his therapist with him.
His therapist is his minder, and the therapist is being paid for through Rachel, possibly, allegedly.
Is he bipolar? That's possible.
And that would be controlled with medication.
Somebody else suggested it's going too fast. Somebody else suggested, here we go, borderline personality disorder. That's possible.
Yeah.
He could have any myriad of problems. It's very obvious to me that he's paranoid. Like, he's really paranoid.
Plus, he's living with post-traumatic stress because of the death of his mother. He never maybe got over his mother's traumatic death.
What do you guys think about him going on about William had the better bedroom in like a 100-room castle?
Excuse me, the oldest sibling always gets the better bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest of 6.
The size of the room was.
I'm the youngest of 6 until until I was the last kid at home. That's when I got the good bedroom. But everybody older than me, I had the icky bedroom.
Look at this one. He's paranoid. Coke does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on something. He is on something.
Yeah. One of the things saying about the bedroom, my cousin, she was one of 3. I was an only child, so I never had that problem. But my cousin was one of 3. She was a middle child and had 3 bedrooms. Mum and Dad had the biggest. She had the next biggest. And the 2 boys had to have the small one. It happens in nearly every family. Somebody gets the biggest bed and somebody gets the smallest bedroom. I mean, it's
the thing is, he lived in a palace.
Things like that.
It's a fact of life.
Exactly. He lived in a palace
with servants. He had a very privileged life.
I would take a coat closet in that palace. I'd sleep in the coat closet, please.
I think they could have been talking about Balmoral, which is not the great, which isn't as great. But
and now that it's about the magic mushrooms, the magic mushrooms, where the bin grew ahead and started talking to him. I could not believe that he admitted that in a book. I was like,
I can't believe he admitted how he lost his virginity.
Oh, wait, Mitzi. Thank you, Mitzi. I'm going to have a cup of coffee on you.
And Barbara.
And Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
And And don't forget the frostbite he had.
Oh my God.
How does hasn't
virginity
everybody
story
seen A
just
Christmas
about killed
Story?
me.
You don't play. What
The
was he doing?
virginity story. I rode her like a stallion, and then she smacked my ass and
I
sent me
know,
on my way. I thought,
That's a
what are
giveaway
his
because
kids are going to read that? His kids are going to read that.
Yeah,
That's
don't
it's so
they?
stupid.
I mean,
that is a giveaway because normally I bet he would have said bottom or behind. I think that after they sacked the ghostwriter, I think Megan took over writing it.
He probably
you know
did.
what?
Yes, that's a good. Yeah, I
Good
think she
point.
did
There's a
too.
lot of American euphorisms. Well, again, the ghostwriter was
Yeah.
American also, but
I
this
don't
is
think he's.
interesting. Jane said, I don't think he's bipolar. They are manic, then depressed, and cycling, and bipolar people are very bright. Harry isn't.
No, he's as dim as his mother, basically.
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my honest thing, because I said I wasn't going to go over an hour this time. I was absolutely not going over an hour. So we have 14 minutes left. I honestly believe this whole thing with the Taliban, I don't think Harry thought, although Penguin Random House and the ghostwriter should have known, I don't think they thought that it was going to go this sideways.
Thank you, Kim.
Oh, thank you, Kim. I don't think he thought that it was going to go this sideways. Coffee. I'm concerned. I'm really, like I said, I don't hate anybody. I don't like Meghan Markle for my own reasons, but I certainly wouldn't wish death on her. And I certainly wouldn't wish death on those kids. And I feel like they are now really in a very serious situation. Maybe they don't even realize the danger that they're in, that he has put them in with this stuff. Now,
They don't.
I'm just like going, the United States, I'm telling you, there's going to be some sort of an international incident. And I think the United States is going to have to put them out. Oh,
Cat lady,
Cat
thank
lady,
you.
Thank you.
That's about $5 because she sent in pounds.
Is that pounds? Oh, it's pound. Yeah, it's got that sign.
Yes, it's in pounds. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't, you guys, like, I'm really worried about, see, like Tanya, I said the same thing. Did they do this because of security? But I'm just like, surely he's not that stupid. Oh, Alicia Rose, thank you. Alice Rose. Oh, look at the dog. You know what I feel really bad about? Look at that cute little dog.
Little Doxy.
He looks like my little Finn. Let me tell you what I'm worried about. There was a guy, and this will be in Tuesday's video too. There was a guy, he was a former UK soldier. He's living in Afghanistan, in Kabul, rescuing dogs and cats. And they had to evacuate him because he's in imminent danger because of what Harry did. And they were afraid there might be retaliation. And so they had to remove him. So now there's nobody looking after the animals. They've just been left there. And he had to be removed back. I'm just like, oh my God, like the problems that he created for other people.
Don't get me started on what was left in Afghanistan. We all.
Oh, Mama T. Yeah. Megan's mom.
Megan's mom.
Megan's mom.
And Jakey, thank
you.
Him.
He's just too dumb to see it happening. Well, I think he sees it. He's just too dumb to get out of it. Jakey, thank you. Jakey 5. Yeah. Oh, and you're also going to see, I am sure there are some sugars on here somewhere.
Oh, Megan's mole said Megan is setting him up nicely to get eaten alive during the divorce. She's ruining him, destroying his reputation, but he's too dumb to see it happening.
Yeah. Oh, Doris, Doris just sent a sticker. You put the Americans in danger. Yes, that is my whole point. But thank you, Doris. And Carmela, oh, look at the dog. Carmela. Thank you,
that dog's
Carmela.
smarter than Henry right now.
I love that. Oh my God. That's exactly my point. He has put, with his words, he's not only put himself in danger, he's not only really put Meghan and them in danger, but now he's put the world, everybody's in danger because of him and his big fat mouth. But what I was gonna say was, and again, you'll see this on Tuesday, that one of the Sussex Squad people, and then you guys know, they made fun of my gray hair.
Oh,
People pay for this. They made fun of the fact that I used to clean pans when I was working as a nurse.
Sue, my mom was a nurse. I know how hard you worked your ass
I know,
off.
right? It's like
When you
I'm retired from healthcare too.
and when
I
you
was
go
in
to
nursing.
London,
That's ridiculous.
when you go to London at Westminster Abbey, there is a stained glass window and a chapel that is dedicated to nurses.
The nurses. Okay,
There's a nurses' chapel at Westminster for you.
You know that these people made fun of my hair, made fun of the fact that I used to clean bedpans. Now they've put something up. I do videos now, you guys, because I'm lazy and I don't want to go to work.
Doing these videos is a lot of work.
I was like, oh my God, you guys need to get a life. Get a life, please. Do something with yourselves. Oh my God. Wait, it gets worse. It gets worse. They put up a tweet. So it was sent to me by somebody else because unlike other people, I don't have a sock account. If I block you, it's because I really just don't want to see your stuff. I don't care. I really don't. I have a full life. Our house is being built finally. It's going to be ready in a month or two. My son is going to be moving in with us. I have such a full life going on right now. It's not funny. So anyway, they put up a tweet. Wait a minute, I have to do this. Irma, thank you, Irma. They put up a tweet. Hey, Sussex Squaddies. Sue Smith tried to get around the copyright by doing what? Mass report her video. Get out. And I'm like, I didn't get around the copyright. I didn't do anything wrong, but feel free. But this is how they spend their time. It's like, my God, the brain. It's like dealing with Prince Harry. These people have no life. Oh my God. I was just, I couldn't help myself when I saw the tweet. I was like, are you kidding?
Megan's Mold just said that she's, hello, Sue. These idiots were claiming I'm a person named Fame Vixen and I'm into incest.
Yeah.
I know who's behind the murky side of Megxit.
Yeah.
No, Megan's Mold is not.
Please, people, do not go to that channel. Do not give them any.
Oh my
views.
gosh.
It's all bull crap. But it's like I've told them I've never been divorced. I've never been arrested. Nothing. There's nothing there. So they've gone online. They've claimed that I bought bots. Now you guys know I'm so technically challenged. I wouldn't even know how to buy bots. So they claim I bought bots. They make fun of my hair. They make fun of the fact that I used to empty bedpans when I was working, and now they're claiming I'm lazy because that's all they got. Because there's nothing there.
Thank you, Princess Carol and Sandy.
Oh, Princess Carol. Wait, what'd she write? Prince William didn't hit
Harry hard enough.
Sandy Johnson. Sandy, thank you. Wait, what does this person write? Megan fired the ghostwriter while writing, so did she write it? I think she did. She did. There's so many American euphemisms that are coming up. Now, granted, the ghostwriter was an American guy. So,
but also, if you look at some of what she wrote and how she wrote on the TIG, there's a lot of things, a lot of phrases that she uses that seems to come out in that.
Rita Marsh, thank you. Oh my God, it's so funny. Sue, you are far from lazy. Yes, I am. Let me tell you what my life encompasses now. Since I'm not up at 5:30 in the morning to go to work, I'm, at the hospital. I'm still up at 5:30 in the morning. And so then husband goes off to work, son goes to work, goes and does his thing. So I go and I do the dishes. I clean the kitchen. I do the laundry. I vacuum. I work on my videos. I go grocery shopping. I go out and make sure that the house is being built correctly. I'm starting to go through the stuff that didn't make it into the storage pod to see what's going to go in the trash, because obviously I'm not taking everything. Like, my life is pretty full. And I just think that some people have nothing to do all day. That's what I think. Okay, Lisa, New Zealand, because we're running short on time. Lisa, New Zealand, is it illegal to bury babies? It depends where you live, Lisa. In California, it is illegal to do that. You have to be in a cemetery. So he might want to show somebody where he buried that because it's biohazard. Mama T, thank you. And wait, it's going too fast.
Pam Melnick.
Melnick, New Zealand.
Yes.
Oh, wait, there's another one.
Saskia
Schmidt. Cool.
Yeah.
I think nurses are very underestimated, especially by doctors. Your hair is lovely. Thank you. Yeah, they make fun of my hair because it's falling out a little bit. I'm going a little bald and very gray. But, when COVID hit, I got so tired of dyeing my hair. I just decided to let it go. And then people were like, ooh, cool, silver. I like that salt and pepper thing. People pay for that. I was like, they do? So I left it. I just left it. Okay.
I started letting my hair grow too.
I'm telling you. Let's see. Did you get my super chat? Yes. Would you imagine that a fetus would have been destroyed? I would imagine. Okay, let me explain something to you guys really quickly. It was not a fetus. It was what they call products of conception. You're at 7 weeks. You're talking literally about a clump of cells that big. There was no fetus.
The size of a fingernail.
I mean, they don't even know what they took. They probably just took a blood clot with them. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's probably what they did.
Yeah, it's
gray hair is wisdom.
I checked. Illinois, you can be buried in your own property, like family property, backyard. Yes, you can be buried if you have a large enough property, or it has to be an official cemetery.
And here we go. And it's a trend at the moment in Ireland. Many are coloring their hair silver in their 20s. Okay, well, here you can show them this. Wait. That's all. Silver. You see that? Can you see silver?
Ooh. Well, you could. You know what would be
fun
is you could put a few lilac highlights in now with the silver.
No, I'm okay. Mary Lou, thank you.
Friend of mine did that. It looked beautiful. It's the washable stuff. You put it in for a day, the hair chalk, and
wait a minute. You can't bury a body in the yard. The chickens or other animals will roam the area, would dig it up. Yeah, the thing is, it wasn't a body. It was products of conception, which are a clump of cells. There's nothing to bury.
It was a soiled sanitary pad that she probably gave him.
Probably.
Yeah.
What does it say? No idea where the lips have been. Oh, yeah. You know what, Mama T? Let me just tell you something about that whole lip gloss thing. If you have, now keep in mind, when I say oral herpes, we're talking, all that is the chicken pox vaccine. Whether it's above or bottom, when they say herpes, it's chicken pox. That's all it is. It's the chicken pox. But if you have it on your lips, and if Megan were to have that and she touched her lips, and then she touched the lip gloss and then touched her lips, I hope Catherine threw that thing out. That's all I can say.
Would.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Jim Baker.
You think Harry, mental state at this point, he needs a year or two in a Swiss psych center. I've heard very concerned. Yes, I've heard he's concerned that he's suicidal. I think he needs to be deprogrammed. I think if they got him away from Megan, there might be a chance of deprogramming. But I think he's in so much danger now with the Taliban. I really think they're in danger. Gloria G, thank you.
He's a security risk to the United States, so diplomatic flight, I bet, is being arranged to get him out. But if any of you ladies need comfort, I don't know if you can see. I'll put my arm next to the camera.
Yeah,
but
all I see is Glenda is good.
Okay, I was in Regent's Park when a bomb that was set off by the IRA. They're a terrorism group, Irish Republican Army, set off a bomb in London. So I've got scars from shrapnel. So what are the odds of me getting caught in another terrorist situation? So if you want to feel safe, you can come hang out with me here in my neck of the woods.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know if you can see these little white dots on my arm.
Yep.
Shrapnel. I've got on my arms and legs. So I've already been hit by terrorist shrapnel once in my life. odds of it happening again, I don't think
Very
I don't think
small.
so. So
I agree with Sue.
Come-
Megan took over the ghostwriter.
come hang out with me.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it did. What will King Charles do about the Taliban? You mean the Taliban? There's nothing for Charles to do. Let me just tell you, I don't think Charles is going to say anything. I think they're going to continue their silence. I heard and I read that the royal family was not watching the Netflix documentary, was not reading the book, was not doing any of this stuff. And that's what's driving Harry and Meghan crazy, because they will not engage with them. They will not do a tit for tat. Every time they ignore them, they get angrier and angrier. Wait a minute. Anyone see a video of W&C wedding laughing at H? The choir sings Harry as a frozen knob and W whispering about it. And then the Archbishop does a speech. It is hilarious. I did see where people were making faces when that preacher, my God, that preacher just went on forever. I mean, I was sitting there after like 8 minutes. I was thinking, okay, you really need to shut up now. Let's get on with the wedding. I don't care about you. I want to watch Meghan and Harry get married. Like,
The fact that she didn't curtsy showed everything.
I was so excited for the wedding.
No curtsy, and the fact
actually, if you go back and look, can I just say, you guys, everybody said there was no curtsy. I do believe there was a curtsy. If you go back and you look, the camera wasn't on them, but it looks like she curtsied and he bowed his head. But the camera wasn't on them.
It wasn't.
She curtsied. She did.
It wasn't a deep one, but she curtsied.
But she did one. She did curtsy and he bowed his head. But you know, every time everybody else did it, they had the camera right on them, but they didn't have the camera right on them at that moment. But if you look, it was one of these big wide shots from above. But if you looked, you could see it. She curtsied, and he bowed.
I think that could be because she was just going to walk past and he had to stop her to do the bow and the curtsy, because she doesn't believe in it. She doesn't think she has to. Because it's just his grandmother.
She knew what she was.
It's not just his grandmother, it's the Queen, or was the Queen.
Exactly, or was the Queen. Sue Smith, hand pink waving. DM says H has been written out of coronation, whether he attends or not. Yes, they're not going to make him kneel and swear allegiance, because obviously he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
Audrey,
I hope he doesn't show up. He should not show up.
I don't think he will show up. Okay, here's my thought. Here's my final thought.
But it's an excuse for Meghan to order a big fancy dress. She can have her ermine
she's going to want
and a coronet to wear.
Exactly. DD Step, thank you. And let me give you guys a final thought. On the one hand, I think they want to go to the coronation because they want their photos with the royal family. They want to put the little coronet on their head and do all that stuff. So they want to be there. On the other hand, now that Harry has said all that and said he's not going unless they reach out first, and there's no way in hell that family's going to reach out first, I still think they'll show up. Although they'll be on a side, to the side, I still think they're going to show up for that coronation, number one. Yes, Gabby, narcissists hate to be ignored. I think that's part of their problem. Number two, I'm really worried about this whole Taliban thing. When you say the words Taliban, it like strikes fear, which is what it was meant to do and what it does, especially after 9/11. I'm worried that the United States is going to end up in an international incident because they're basically going to say to Harry, you got to go because the Taliban want you and we didn't sign up for this. We gave you a visa to come here to work. And now we're having an international incident and you got to go. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. What I hope happens. Obviously, Canada's not going to take them. Nobody's going to take them. They're going to have nowhere to go but back to the UK. Back to the royal family.
Well, then we should some people should start calling the State Department. They will issue the order. And because those kids are under the guardianship of Charles and they're half British citizens and they're still.
Can I just say that when they went to New York and that guy said that he worked for the Secret Service, do you guys remember? They were doing that royal tour in New York, and one of their security guards who was pictured in California and who was pictured in New York said, I work for the Secret Service. And so several people, including me, wrote in to the White House, to the Secret Service, I wrote 5 letters and said, I want to know if my tax dollars are going to pay for their security. And I never got a response from any of them.
Call the State Department.
Before you go, I think
Yes,
the
ma'am.
one thing that might happen is because this book was released 4 days early, and a lot of people know what's in it, there might be an awful lot of pre-booked orders being cancelled.
Cancelled. Yes.
I hope so.
You are correct. You are correct.
Another thing, I'm reading the Lady Colin Campbell book on Meghan and Harry, and believe you me, that is enlightening. And the next one I'm going on to read is this. Can you see? I can't remember to see it. Courtiers. Try to see which way it is. There we are.
I haven't got it yet. Damn it.
I've got it. It's great. I am not going to.
I got it from the library.
Notice. I'm sorry. Did you just say you got that from the library?
Yeah.
I've got mine from Book Depository. They already sent me mine.
Oh my
I
God.
ordered mine in October and it arrived a few weeks ago.
Did anybody happen to notice that Meghan Markle and Harry don't mention Tom Bower's book, and they don't mention Courtiers, and they don't mention any of the books? They don't mention the books, and they haven't sued over them either, because we know how litigious they are, but you can't sue about something if it's the truth.
Exactly.
But with all 3 of them,
he's writing another book.
I'm an American Army vet, no combat, but I know stuff. No soldier or veteran ever speaks of what Harry did. He put the family. Footsie girl, that's exactly what I was saying. He's made me very nervous that the United States is going to get pulled into something with the Taliban again, because they want him. They're already saying send him here for war crimes, and they're not going to let up. And I don't feel like the United States should be pulled into this mess. I think they're going to tell him to go back to the UK. And if Meghan at that point said, I don't want to go back to the UK with the kids, I'm staying here, you go, she'd probably be a lot safer here than in the UK with him.
But the kids all have to go with him.
Well, Thomas Markle Jr. put out a new video. And that's the other thing that kills me. They keep saying, don't talk to the media, don't talk to the media. Thomas Markle, Harry sits there on TV and goes, I've tried to do it privately, but I'm not getting anywhere. So now I'm doing it in the public. That's exactly what Thomas Markle did. He tried to do it privately, and Harry and Meghan ignored him.
Well, I think for the coronation, Henry and Rachel are going to be the color commentators for the Netflix crew, and they'll be standing outside up on a scaffold describing everything that's going on and happening. That's how they'll be attending the coronation. They won't be inside, but they'll be telling people what's happening from outside.
Did you guys see this? Why did Harry have an apology to his children for not being at home? I actually saw that. I cannot answer that. I don't know, but I did see that. Maybe because they were gone for 3 weeks when the Queen died. Maybe because they were gone to New York when they did their pseudo royal tour.
I don't think those kids even noticed.
Maybe they're really separated. I mean,
that's if the kids exist.
Okay, I think
I don't think they even noticed.
Yeah.
Susie A, thank you. Coffee. The kids exist, guys. Here's my thought, and here's my thought process on that also, and then I'm really going to go. But here's my thought process on that. She had Lily, in my opinion. She gave birth to Lily because she had all the baby weight afterwards. You could clearly see it when she was on the tour of New York. I firmly believe she used a surrogate for Archie, though. So Archie, because Archie's birth was weird, she changed her story. She wanted to stand on the steps, but the doctor wouldn't let her. And then in the Oprah show, she said, well, they never asked me. I mean, she changed her story so many times. Either way you look at it, she's a liar. And then, but of course, Andrew and Fergie had their children there, and they did a photo call. So that didn't meet anything either. And then the birth certificates are odd. And then her name had to be changed on it, later on.
And plus, her bust size never increased.
Yeah, she never got cankles. She never got nothing. And then when Catherine's things were put out on the scaffold, they were signed.
Yeah.
When hers was put out, it wasn't. The wording was different. It was very odd. I firmly believe, and everybody's like, well, we need a DNA test. You don't need a DNA test because it's her egg. Samantha Markle already said she froze her eggs.
Yeah, because they were in Toronto.
Right. Her eggs, his sperm. So DNA isn't going to tell you anything. Question is who carried and birthed it is the question, not the DNA. So I think she gave birth to Lily, but I don't think she gave birth to Archie.
And in the UK, the person, the surrogate, has got the legal claim on the child, not the egg donor.
Correct. Until you got to go through the adoption stuff on the paperwork, and that takes a certain amount. That takes like months and months, which would have been about the time that they changed Megan's name on the birth certificate. Think about that. Remember, they went back and she said the Crown made her change the birth certificate.
Yeah.
Right about the time frame it would have been after the amount of time went by from having a surrogate and doing the correct paperwork. Also,
as a surrogate, Archie would not be entitled to be in the succession.
Correct.
Or for a title.
Correct. Yep. He's not entitled. And I still do not understand. I still don't understand why, if there's such a racist, horrible person, I don't understand why they want titles for the kids.
To monetize them. I mean, I think she'd set up ideas for when she had the Sussex Royal title for their charity or whatever. She was trying to get trademarks for Sussex Royal tea towels, mugs, sweatshirts, this, that, and the other, so they could monetize it. And that's why when the Queen said no, you're not having the title.
For those of you who are writing to Valerie B, I threw her out, so don't worry about it. She go bye-bye. Yeah, sugar alert. She's gone. I mean, I don't understand people like that. It's like you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm entitled to mine. That's the basis of free speech. And I will fight to the death for you to be able to voice your opinion. What I will not tolerate are insults and death threats, because that's not free speech at that point. And in case you guys haven't noticed, every time they have a comment, Harry and Meghan, it's free speech. Every time we have an opposing point of view, then it's not free speech, it's hate speech, and you're a hater, and you're not allowed to have an opinion.
Did you see Taz's thing? Because I
laughed my ass off. She's so funny.
But she got somebody phoned up the police and reported her for something, and they had the police turn up at 1:30 in the morning. She thinks it's one of the sugars.
You know what? Wait a minute. Footsie girl, thank you. Yeah. Hormones to try and nurse would plump her up. That's true too. Let me just say that even Christopher Boozy had somebody sent to his house, if I heard correctly. I don't follow him and I don't see his tweets, but somebody told me that he was on there because he got what's called soft swatted. And of course I had to ask, what the hell is that? Because again, I'm not up on all of the stuff. It's called soft swatting. And he said that's a waste of resources. Don't do that. And then the Sussex Squad goes and does it to Taz. What if the police really needed to be somewhere at that time? What if somebody was having a heart attack or a stroke, or they were being robbed or something, and somebody really needed the police, and you sent them to her house at 1:30 in the morning? Be an adult. Stop behaving that way. I'm talking to all you sugars that are eavesdropping. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay, guys. Yes, Taz is amazing. I love Taz. And let me just say, Boozy knew it was a process server because the process server identified himself through the door. So he was aware that it was a process server. He just didn't want to open the door.
No.
No, he didn't want to open the door. Again, I'm not following all of that lawsuit stuff. He did. I heard that Boozy called the police on the process server. No, Boozy was getting served, not swatted. Jen, no, somebody sent the police to his house claiming that there was some kid being abused there or something, and the police showed up, and the kid was sleeping, and it's. Don't use the police in that fashion. I don't care what side of the argument you're on. Don't do it.
Well, I wonder if anyone has. I wonder if anyone has called the California Department of Human Services for a wellness check on these kids.
If you're watching my videos, then you guys know that about 5 days ago, a newscaster on Fox News said, "Where is the Department of Children's Services?"
Yeah.
Because you got Harry, who's admitting to drug abuse, who's admitting to having an anger management problem, who's obviously paranoid, and you've got Megan, who apparently is narcissistic with suicidal tendencies. Who's looking after the kids?
Exactly.
So, yeah, they've already been talking about that.
And then Doria allegedly has a criminal record.
Yeah,
she was known for her enjoyment of certain substances. So even that isn't a safe environment.
On weight because she ate during lockdown. Didn't we all? No. I also love Padina. Oh my God, I love her too. I love everybody's stuff. Okay, guys. So we're gonna call it a night. But my main point was I'm really concerned that there's going to be some sort of an international incident with the Taliban, because I think the Taliban want Harry, and we have Harry here. And I think
it'll be found out before anything actually happens, but it will be traced back to him.
The person who just wrote this, to swatting. No, swatting is when you call the police on somebody. Swatting is when you call the police and claim that somebody at another address is doing something illegal, or somebody's being abused or killed or something like that. And apparently somebody called the police on Christopher Boozy, and then apparently somebody called the police on Taz. It's a terrible way to use police resources. And wait, where's Megan's role? She was just there. She said it was an ex-Megxit person. Okay, before we go, Megan, do you want to pop on? Watch her say, "No, I'm not dressed. I don't have makeup. I don't want to." Come on, Megan's mole. Pop on for 2 seconds. Megan. Answer yes, answer no. Come on. Come on. Look, Deborah's saying, please come on. Again. Yes, swatting can get people killed. There was an instance, I remember reading about it, where the police showed up, guns drawn, and shot somebody. And it was a swatting thing. It was terrible. You don't use the police that way.
No.
Come on, girl. Come on. Let me see. Let me write to her and see if she'll come on. Come on. Look, people are writing, please, Mole. We are waiting for you. I don't think she sees it. All right. Well, wait, he will start yelling. Who will start yelling? What? Megan's mole, come on.
No, Henry's gonna start. He's gonna start screaming bloody murder about stuff.
Oh, you mean your son? You mean your son will start yelling? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know her son. Her son loves me. He's always like, hi. He puts his face right in the camera. So freaking cute. You just want to grab those cheeks and. So, okay, guys. So, keep an eye on what's going on with the Taliban. Let's keep an eye, because I really feel like this is becoming an international incident. That's really what I'm concerned about. We don't need another 9/11.
Okay,
really
so I'll be putting up another video on the 9th on odd days of the week. I'll put it up and I'll do some thinking and see what I can pick up with the Taliban because I did.
Wait a minute, I got Megan's mole on
Great.
camera. Wait a minute, she's gone. She's gone.
Aw.
Let me try again.
Mm.
I'm trying. Let's see if she answers. All right, you're on camera. I'm still on camera. Okay, you're not on camera. Can you make it on?
I can't. I have my little one beside me.
She said she can't. Her little one is beside her and he'll be yelling. And there's the little one. Hey, sweetie. All right, let me call you back in a minute.
Okay, we'll talk later.
Bye. All right, she's not coming on, guys. Sorry. Her son is with her. She can't. You know what? We'll arrange another time to do a live where Megan and everybody else could come on. And Honey 1AU, I think that some of those channels might be run by that person, like the Murky Side of Exit. I think some of that stuff is run by her. That's just my opinion.
Well, isn't she down in Australia? So we would have to check the time. Check the timestamps.
I don't bother her since I blocked her. I blocked her on WhatsApp. We used to talk on WhatsApp, and then I found out that she was saying horrible things about me. And then she sent me this whole thing. She accused me of. I put all the words up in the video. I put all the interaction in the video. I'm not used to people calling me a bully. I don't think I've ever bullied anybody. And I was just like, what? And then I said, listen, enough. And then she put up my WhatsApp picture and my phone number on Twitter. Well, I was expecting it to go berserko, and I was expecting to start getting all these phone calls and text messages. And guess what happened? Nothing. Zilch. So, all right, guys.
So people get testy because being a nurse, we know how to use our voices to put a point across. Some people are intimidated because we have a strong voice. We know how to tell somebody in a direct way, no, dude, you're staying here on the gurney and you're going to be getting this charcoal down your throat to get the drugs.
Haven't you heard? I'm only good for emptying bedpans. All right, guys.
Okay.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for bringing me up.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.